From spawning behind barriers to surprise your enemy, to insane movements that shouldn't even be possible, this is Valorant's most insane glitches of all time. Back in the early days in 2020, there were a ton of glitches, and the most iconic one that still gets talked about today is that you could throw Cypher's camera a gun and actually be able to shoot it. The camera was registered as a player entity and not an actual ability, which actually means that Cypher's camera is almost like a 6th player in your team, which makes it almost impossible for the enemy team to win. But if you thought that was crazy, trust me, it gets a lot crazier in this video. Do you guys remember rocket riding in Fortnite? Well, in 2020, you could do the same thing, but with Viper's wall. If you timed it correctly, you could ride Viper's wall and be at the end of her wall in less than a second. The Cypher in this clip literally didn't even see the jet coming. Another insane glitch is that Omen could TP outside the barrier. Yup, that's right. Omen could literally TP behind the barrier if you try to TP near the barrier if someone else already stood in front of it. But that is not the most shocking part. The most insane part is that this glitch was literally in the game this year, but in a slightly different way. When Abyss first got released, you could use Omen's TPs to literally TP outside the barrier during the buy phase. The only difference with this glitch is that you have to use 2 TPs instead of 1. But at least you could surprise your enemies with some quick and easy kills. One of the most fun movement glitches of all time was definitely the jet super dash using ropes. If you timed this right, you could zoom half across the map of any site if there was a rope nearby, catching people off guard and getting some hilarious B-hop kills. It almost looks like you're speed hacking using this glitch. But this glitch is literally game breaking. If you wanted to win your games without the enemy being able to do anything, you're gonna like this one a lot, trust me. If you place your wall as Sage on C site on the map Haven in a specific way, you were able to glitch yourself into the platform and plant the spike, meaning there was literally no way for the enemy team to defuse the spike. This glitch is often forgot about, but it was literally the most broken glitch of all time. And you could also do this with Phoenix, sort of. When Phoenix used his ultimate and planted the spike while his ult ran out, he was able to place the spike wherever he first ulted, meaning you could literally leave the enemies confused until the spike exploded. And even if they did find it, you could just throw some mollies onto the spike, and there is literally no way they would have time to defuse. And if you thought 2020 was bad, it's gonna get worse, because 2021 was probably the most glitchiest year of all time. Remember the wall riding with Viper? Yup, it's back, but this time with Sova's arrows. This glitch was really hard to time, but if you got it right, you could ride Sova's arrows so quick, and the craziest part is that he could literally do it himself. I've done this glitch in 2021 myself, and it allowed for the funniest reactions ever. The next game-breaking glitch was used in a professional match. Cypher could place his camera on Breeze in the most insane spots. I'm talking about cameras that could literally almost see the entire map, or cameras that you could literally not break. Vivo Cade used a variant of these cameras, which resulted Riot Games giving the other team all the 6 rounds that this camera was used. Now what do you guys think? Is this the player's fault? Or is this Riot Games' fault for having this glitch in the game in the first place? An even more broken glitch was definitely the Viper ultimate bug. Because if you stood in a certain position on certain maps, you could literally see everywhere in her ult. You can just imagine how broken this will be in a comp game. This is not a game-breaking glitch, but this has to be one of the funniest glitches of all time. Because if you lined your recon up like this, and you waited a little bit, the arrow would literally come out the ground like a fish flying out the water. They should have honestly kept this in the game.
Yo, Silent, I also did the exact same glitch, but I couldn't clip it.
Wait, really?
Yeah, man. How do I make sure I clip it next time?
This is gonna sound crazy, bro. But thanks to today's sponsor, Metal.tv, this will never happen again. Because our friends at Metal.tv made a program that automatically does the clipping for you, with just one press of the button. What is so good about Metal as well, that besides clipping, you can also edit your clips as well, and share it right away to all your social media platforms. As you can see, here's my clip, and I can literally edit it vertically and even add captions as well. So I can post it right away to socials like YouTube Shorts and TikTok. And if you're worried about the quality of the clips, they got you covered, because you can clip your most insane shots or the sus moment with your friends in 4K quality. And even if you just want to share your clips with your friends, you can do that in the program as well by tagging them or sending them a message. Make sure to download Metal using my link in the description below, because if you use my link and you follow me on Metal as well, you'll be entered to win a grand prize of $100 for free. So click the link in the description now, you won't regret it. Sometimes bugs can be a nerf instead of something overpowered. Usually a safe Sage wall takes ages to break, right? But Killjoy could instantly break her wall using a turret. And so could Yoru. And Sova. Yeah, her wall was trash. The thing Killjoy could also do is glitch herself into the door on ascent if you timed it right. This was insanely annoying to fight against, as she could pop out of nowhere and get an easy frag. And if you thought that was bad, Omen took this a step further. If you combined Omen's TP with Sage's wall, you could glitch yourself in almost every single wall on every single map. And the craziest part is that the enemies weren't able to see you, so you could get so many free kills. And let's not forget that the spawning behind barriers glitches were still a thing almost a year later, with Yoru literally being able to cast his teleport ability through the wall on Bind shown in this clip. As you can see, it goes through the wall and also through the barrier. You can just imagine how frustrating this is for the enemy team. One of the most unique glitches also happened this same year. If you timed Omen's ultimate ability with his smoke, you could ult, and if you saw an enemy nearby, you could literally pull out your gun and shoot him. If I died to this glitch, I would literally add the CEO of Riot Games on LinkedIn and just start complaining. There was a sort of similar glitch in the next year in 2022 with Yoru's ultimate ability. For some reason, he could use literally any single gun in his ult and kill the enemies. This glitch is literally insane. It's like entering God mode. In this year, Jet super dashes also made a return to the game. But nope, not with ropes this time. We're talking about an even more broken thing here. You could use almost any single ledge, dash against it, and go zoom in. Pair this with your updraft ability and you could fly almost half across the map. But if you missed the rope glitch where you could more like b-hop, you're in luck. And this year, Fade also released. And if you combine Jet's dash with Fade's seize ability, it would give a similar effect to the rope and you would go b-hopping half across the map. But Jet was no longer the only queen of b-hopping since Neon released earlier that year as well. And she came in with some heat. If you slid against the wall like in this clip, you would build the most insane momentum and catch your enemies off guard. Riot Games, literally how even is this possible? Come on, man. The most game-breaking glitch of this year definitely goes to Astra. Have you ever thought what it was like to buy an operator in a pistol round? Or a stronger gun in general? Well, with Astra, this was definitely possible. If you place Astra Star anywhere on the map, picked it up and sold it, you would gain enough credits to buy a Stinger, Bucky, and most importantly, a Marshall. On a pistol round, the chances are high that the enemy doesn't have shield, which means the Marshall is as effective, if not better, than an operator on round 1. This glitch was nerfed really quick, and I am so glad because it was such a pain to go up against. If you did this lineup correctly on Split using your seize ability and there were enemies nearby, they would literally be stuck bouncing in the air and not being able to do anything but watch you kill them. This is first class bullying. Now going over to the year 2023, they released a new map called Lotus, and if you didn't know already, if they release a new map, it comes with a ton of glitches, such as Neon literally being able to slide into the door as it closed and being able to shoot through it. And it wouldn't be a new year if you weren't able to glitch through the barrier again. If you open the door and use Jet's updraft ability, you could glitch yourself through the door and wait for the barrier to drop to catch your enemies off guard. But this isn't the only time Jet's updraft broke the game. In this exact same year, her updraft broke it the second time on the same map, because in certain areas of this map, you could updraft yourself onto a ledge and literally stay there for the entire round if you wanted to. Because let's be real, who's gonna clear this corner anyway? And no, don't tell me it's you, don't lie in the comments. Her updraft ability broke the game for a third time this year, but this time on a different map. You could updraft in this corner on the map Bind, and if you held it with an operator, you were able to get the freest picks of all time. But this wasn't the only problem this map had, as Gecko could literally open the TP with his wingman on the other side of the teleporter. And if you thought that was it, you'd be mistaken. Because if you place Deadlock's wall in the right spot on the other side of the TP, it would take enemies multiple times to go through it. But Deadlock also had some crazy synergy with Jet. See, when Deadlock first released, Jet still had 2 updrafts. Could you guess where this is going? Yup, you're right. The craziest off angles you've ever seen. Just look how high up you can go. I don't even think anyone could see you at this point. In 2024, we had some pretty strange glitches. These are definitely gonna surprise you. Because for a little while, this game was literally pay to win. If you had purchased the Miss Bloom bundle, you had literal wall hacks. If you stood behind a wall or a door and you inspected your weapon, and there so happened to be an enemy there, you were literally able to see them light up. This glitch almost had me buying this bundle. Too bad it's kinda trash. In this year, the map Abyss also made its debut to Valorant, and oh boy, there's some stuff to unpack here. If you timed Phoenix's ultimate right, you could literally TP onto places where it was impossible for the enemy to see you. But guess what? You could see them. Can you imagine how funny it would be to have to tell your team that you got killed from below? I would call them a hacker or something, but nope. It's just Riot Games releasing a new map. Once again, Omen is back TPing onto places where he shouldn't be, with him literally being able to teleport onto the map on one site and surprising the enemy using both his TPs like so. And if you thought that was bad, Omen is back breaking the game once more, because it wouldn't be a new Valorant year without you being able to get behind the barriers again. If you used Omen on the other side of this map, you were able to TP up here and then jump and teleport onto the ledge. And from then on, you could walk literally anywhere till you see the enemy barrier. Riot, please check your game before you release a new map, because this happened 4 years in a row now. Abyss was not the only map with glitches this year, because if you use Jet, Raze, or possibly Omen, you could get another insane off angle on A side by using an updraft, satcheling, or TPing onto this ledge right here. And trust me, if you thought that was bad, for an even more insane glitch, we're gonna have Omen have his last appearance in this video. Because if you ulted on this exact spot on the map, you would be inside the wall. And trust me, it gets worse. Because if you use both his teleport abilities, you would have the most insane and craziest off angle on A ramp. I would honestly uninstall the game if I got killed by this one. And now for the final and most insane glitch of this video, because you know I like to save the best for last. If you press the subscribe button right now, you'll be radiant by the end of the day and a millionaire by the end of the week. All jokes aside, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100k and 99% of you are not even subscribed. Come on, man. What did I do? Thank you. Bye.